If you want to engage with someone in real life, before you do, I would encourage you to at least first Skype with them to get a really good idea of how they're going to be in real life. If you just go by their avatar and what they send you on text and then go meet up with them in real life, you're going to have your mind blown. And
Fruitarian, living lifestyle, learn about the benefits and start now. Eating from the vine and feeling divine. Fruit living with nature's design.
Hold on, let's go check what's in the cupboard. Whoa, these are my cupboard again, eh? Well, welcome back to Ted's Kitchen. Today you're gonna hear 8 tips that I wish I heard 8 years ago. These are 8 tips that if someone had told me 8 years ago and I actually applied them, my life would be drastically different today. Tip number 1 when it comes to life, your weaknesses don't matter. Don't focus on what you're weak at, and if you suck at something, don't worry about it. Delegate it. Get someone else to do it. If you suck at math, use a calculator or pay a mathematician. If you suck at drawing, pay an artist. If you suck at cleaning your house, pay a cleaning lady. If you suck at looking after your kids, pay a babysitter. Like, focus on your strengths, guys. Life is too short and there are way too many people who are really good at what you suck at, who would love to do what you suck at. So you might as well get them to do a really, really good job at it while you go do a really, really good job at what you're really great at. I don't believe in focusing on your weaknesses and making them greater. I just believe on doing what you're already good at and just focusing on those. Focus on those, focus on those, focus on those. Focus on your strengths. If you don't know what your strengths are, ask somebody in your family. If you really don't know because you haven't spent enough time alone with yourself to realize what your strengths are, ask a friend or family member. They'll be able to tell you. And when they tell it to you, it should ring a bell. It should be like, yeah, you know what, I am pretty good at this, or I'm pretty good at that. And then make those your strengths. Make that part of your self-image, make that part of your personality. What you're already really good at, you're gonna get even better at if you focus on more. So focus on your strengths, forget about your weaknesses. Don't let your weaknesses hamper your progress in life. Delegate them to someone else to take care of. There are many people who are a lot stronger on your weaknesses than you are, obviously. That's why they're your weaknesses and that's why they're their strengths. So use other people. Second tip has to do with that, using other people. Using other people. People will help you in almost every situation if you ask. And you can't just ask once, and you can't just ask vaguely. You've got to ask them repeatedly if they don't help you the first time, and you've got to be very clear about what you want them to help you with. You can't just say, oh, can you help me with my homework? I don't know what your homework is and I'm kind of busy. So instead, say, can you tell me please what 1 + 1 is? And I'll be like, sure, it's 2. They'll be like, yes, thanks. So that I can help you with. Be very, very clear. And when you're asking someone for help too, yeah, sure, ask them the first time. If they don't respond, ask them again and again and again. Just be persistent when you're asking for help and be very clear when you're asking for help. And the last tip when asking for help, don't expect anything in return. If they end up not replying to you, if they end up ignoring you, if they end up not really being able to help you in the way you wanted them to help you, it's all good. Just don't expect much when you're asking someone for help. Whatever they give you, just take it and be like, oh, sweet, thanks. I'm glad I got something out of that at least. But big tip here, don't try and do everything on your own. You were not designed to do everything on your own. You've got to ask for help. The camera I'm using right now, it's like a Carl Zeiss lens or something. It's like a Canon body and it's like some Panasonic plastic or something, Panasonic battery. There's like probably 700 people who helped design this camera. From like the ink that's on it to the color to like the little ropey jobby thing, like there's just at least 700 people whose help went into design this camera. If one guy named John Doe from Canon tried to make this camera himself, it would have sucked. It would have sucked. So even the mouse on the computer, people use the mouse on the computer, the mouse ball is built by someone else, the buttons are built by someone else, the wire is built by someone else, the design of it was designed by someone else. It's like a team effort just to design a mouse on a computer. So when you're going through your life, you want to create a business or you want to create a project or you want to create a foundation or a mission or you want to even do like a triathlon or something, ask people for help. Don't try and do everything on your own. But again, when you're asking for help, don't expect anything in return, but just be persistent when you're asking and be very clear about what you want them to help you with. Third tip is that online friends are pretty much fake friends until you've met them in real life and you've actually made a connection in real life. Once you make a connection with someone in real life, they're not really online friends anymore. They're like real life people that you kind of know. So if you haven't met someone in real life yet, don't believe much about them. They're probably really crazy. Just by default, expect them to be crazy and a bit psycho or whatever. Expect them to not be like how you'd expect them to be in person, especially if you've never Skyped with them. If you want to engage with someone in real life, before you do, I would encourage you to at least first Skype with them to get a really good idea of how they're going to be in real life. If you just go by their avatar and what they send you on text and then go meet up with them in real life, you're going to have your mind blown and you could have your heart crushed or whatever. But just Skype them first and just know that people with avatars and who only send you text messages, they're pretty much fake friends. You've got to at least Skype them or meet them in real life for them to actually be considered real friends. Don't think you have 3,982 friends on Facebook just because you've got a bunch of avatars on there and people send you messages every day. Those are not your friends. Your friends are the people you actually meet in real life and the people who you take a bullet for. Those are your true friends. So when you're asking people for help, generally don't go to the fake friends first. Go to your real friends first. Those are the people who are actually going to be much more likely to help you out with your projects, with your endeavors, with your goals, with your ambitions. Tip number 4 is that you've got to understand that success, when you're heading towards your goals, when you're heading towards your ambitions, is all about persistence. Success equals persistence. Success, the definition of success, the very definition of success, jot this down, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I'll say that again slowly. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. In other words, success is persisting towards your goal. As long as you're in the progress of making progress towards your goal, you are a success. And when the finished product comes and you have a final product, you have the cup, this is not success. Success was all the failures in between as well. Success was dropping the cup and breaking it. Success was all the ugly designs. Success was making the cup too small, too big. Success was waking up in the morning and going over the designs again and hampering it out and trying to make deals with the producers, the manufacturers. Success is the journey. Success is not the finished product. Remember that. Success is not crossing the finish line. Success is running down the road. Success is cycling up the hill, not making it to the top of the hill necessarily. Success is the progression, not the finished product. If you want to see long-term success in your life, you've just got to persist. All the best runners, all the fastest runners are the runners who kept running after high school, after college. They just kept at it, and they got really, really good. The mediocre runners are the ones who just stopped once they became mediocre. Same with YouTubers. Like, there's tons of YouTubers out there who, most of them are not overnight successes. A lot of the massive YouTubers, you look at their older videos, they got like, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 views each. So they're nothing. But over time, they kept with it. 6 years later, boom, big YouTubers. So success, if you want that finished product that you're visualizing, saying like 1,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, however many you want, just persist, just hang around long enough, just show up, just turn on the camera, just talk, just press upload, repeat. Success equals persistence. Know where you want to go and then just get out and do it. Tip number 5 is, if you're not just getting out and doing it, it's because you don't want to do it. So instead of coming up with excuses, just do something else. If you're coming up with any excuse, because it's raining, because you're cold, because you don't feel like it, it's simply because you don't want it badly enough as you want something else. So go find that something else where excuses don't exist. You want to be doing things where you don't even entertain the idea of an excuse. Like, if someone were to ask me, Ted, why don't you want to make a YouTube video today? I couldn't give you a reason. Because I want to make a YouTube video, so I'm doing it. If someone asked me, Ted, why don't you want to go for a run today? I'd be like, I do want to go for a run today, so I'm going to go for a run today. Meanwhile, other people saying, well, I can't go for a run today because I got to do this tomorrow, or because I did this yesterday, or because I just ate, or because I'm busy, blah, 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 blah. They're only giving excuses because they don't want it as badly as I want it. The people who do things, the people who don't use excuses, is because they actually want to do it. The people who are coming up with excuses on a regular basis, it's not because they're low willpower, it's because they don't want it. So do something that you want to do, and only do the things you want to do. And ignore the rest. You've got to delegate the stuff that you don't want to do, and you've got to focus on the stuff that you want to do. You've got to do the stuff where there are no excuses. Live your life in a state of flow, where there are no excuses, there are no roadblocks, where there's no swimming upstream. Go with the flow, go downstream, just flow, man. It's so easy going with the flow when you're doing what you want to do. Tip number 6 is that it's a lot easier to be a big success than it is to be a failure. It's much easier to be wealthy than it is to be poor. People say, oh, being poor is easy, you just get welfare. It is not easy life. It's not easy life being poor in 2016 in North America. Being poor sucks. Being poor means you can't just go travel wherever you want. Being poor means you can't just go do whatever you want. Being broke sucks. It's harder being broke than it is to be rich. So instead, realize that being rich uses the same mental faculties as being broke does. You just use them in a different way. The same people who are broke could just as easily be rich if they changed the way they use their mental faculties, if they change their focus, if they change their feelings, and thus, as a result of changing thoughts and focus and feelings, they change their actions. But most people they say, oh, I need to change my actions, without first changing their thoughts, without first changing their focus and that's without changing their feelings. But you take action because you feel like it. I only take a piss because I gotta feel like taking a piss. I only go outside because I feel like I gotta get outside. I only eat because I feel hungry. I only sleep because I feel tired. So we take action effortlessly when we really feel like it. So understand that if you don't want to be broke anymore and you want to get rich, do something or create a situation in your life that makes you want to get rich, that makes you feel like you're already rich, that makes you feel like you're getting richer. Hang out with people that make you feel rich, talk to people that make you feel rich, do things that make you feel rich, and stop doing altogether and stop thinking about altogether the things that make you feel poor. If you think about debt, if you think about getting out of debt, I should say, most people's goal is to get out of debt. If you think about getting out of debt, you're going to be in debt until the day you die because you get more of what you think about. If you think about debt, you're going to be more debt. So focus on wealth, focus on prosperity, focus on abundance, and you will get what you focus on. I swear to God, I don't know how it works. All I know is that you get what you focus on. It's something about the cybernetic mechanism in our brain that seeks, and finds every single time. Tip number 7 is more of an insight than a tip, and that is being lazy is simply not wanting to do what you don't want to do. So it's okay to be lazy. People say, oh, I'm so lazy, I shouldn't blah 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 blah. It's okay, bro. You're lazy. That just means you don't want to do what you don't want to do. People say, Ted, you're so lazy when it comes to blah blah blah. I'm like, damn right I'm lazy, because laziness is me not wanting to do what I don't want to do. It's perfectly fine to be lazy. Don't beat yourself up over feeling lazy. Just realize that what you're feeling lazy about is just something you don't want to do. So just redirect your focus and say, yes, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it so well, so I'm going to get really good at it over a period of time, and I'm going to become very, very valuable at doing this thing, whatever that thing is. Could be picking your nose. It could be picking your nose. You could get so good at picking your nose, if you really like to pick your nose, that a marketer from some campaign is going to film you to pick your nose very beautifully to advertise some lotion or something. Who knows? You don't know what it is, but just do what you love to do and don't worry about being lazy. If you're lazy about something, good. That's a great sign that says, don't do that. If you're lazy about doing your homework, maybe you shouldn't do your homework. Just saying. Tip number 8 is probably the most profound tip, and again, it's not really a tip, it's more of an insight, and that is the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is feeling joy. And we feel joy when we help other people. And we help other people when we do what we love. Because by doing what we love, we are setting an example. We are giving permission subconsciously to the people around us to also let them do what they love to do. And that's all anyone wants to do what they love to do. So because the purpose of life is joy, and we experience joy best by helping other people, and we help other people best by doing what we love, it all comes back to just doing what you want to do. You've seriously got to just trust that you are allowed to do what you want to do. It's going to be okay to do what you want to do. You don't need to settle. You don't need to downgrade your life in any way, shape, or form. You don't need to be even patient. It doesn't feel like you're being patient when you're doing what you love to do. You're just in the zone. You're in the zone. You're in the zone when you're doing what you love to do, more often than not. So find those states of flow in your life, focus on them, and by doing that, by me making this video, I'm doing what I love to do. I'm experiencing joy, and I'm giving other people permission out there to do what they love to do as well. By me running shirtless down the street, I'm giving other people permission to express themselves however they want. I'm not going to judge them, and if I do judge them, it's probably going to be positively. That's tip number 9. That's insight number 9. Let's talk about this for a second. People say no judgment. Of course there's judgment, but it doesn't need to be negative judgment. You can positively judge everything. You can positively judge everything. People say no judgment, just totally middle ground. You might as well judge. I'm gonna judge this tomato before I eat it. If it's rotten, I'm gonna say, no, I don't want it, I judged it. Yeah, negatively, it's rotten. Or I judge it positively, it's rotten, and therefore it's gonna make great compost. Or I could say, I'm gonna judge this tomato, and I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful, I'm gonna eat it. Thanks, good thing I have judgment. Anyways, that's tip number 9. Tip number 8 kind of got thrown in the mix there, but raw living food. Peace out, guys. See you later.
Fruitarian, living lifestyle. Learn about the benefits and start now. Eating from the vine and feeling divine. Fruit living with nature's design.